point of personal privilege.
Senator has the floor.
Mr. President, in the 1990s, one of the localities I represent saw some disturbing trends emerging. Higher teenage pregnancy rates, increasing juvenile violence, higher dropout rates, and so forth. The feeling of city leaders was that successful economic development was contingent upon a strong and viable workforce. The issue at hand was how to meet this end when faced with those growing trends. Armed with significant studies on brain development and the value of early childhood education, the city chose to make an investment in parents and children through its Healthy Start and Healthy Families initiatives. The focus was on ensuring that children entered school ready to learn, and that these initiatives would reverse the disturbing trends. The initiatives were so successful that they became the subject of a 1997 ABC Rob Reiner special feature with Tom Hanks called I Am Your Child. An independent analysis of these programs conducted by the College of William & Mary at the 5-year interval showed a significant decline in the trends that city was facing. Key to the success of the program was the value of education. Whether that education was the parenting classes held, whether it was business involvement with those programs, or whether it was pre-K education. The feeling was that if the city invested in children and families at the 0 to 5 stage, it would reduce the need for juvenile justice intervention and would provide for a stronger workforce in the future. Thus, the program has become a part of the Economic Development Office's pitch to potential employers and businesses. This brings me to my point. Education is critical to strong families and a viable workforce. If Virginia wants to continue to be the best place to do business and be the best place to raise a child, then we cannot succumb to the antithesis of continuing those achievements with drastic cuts to K through 12 and higher education. Increased classroom sizes, the elimination of programs, cutting of teacher and staff jobs, and closing schools, which many localities are facing, will undermine Virginia's status as a great place to do business and raise a child. Teachers are used to doing more with less, but they are not superhuman. As a professor of higher education, I have witnessed the impact of increased class sizes on the instructional program. There is an increase in rote memorization of students for multiple choice and short answer exams instead of essay exams and writing assignments. As one who teaches a thesis class, I have witnessed the devolution of writing skills among students. Despite the best efforts of teachers at all levels, increased class sizes and reduction in support services will have a negative impact on instruction. We need to keep teachers employed, especially at a time of increasing teacher shortages and our students engaged. How can we do that if programs are being cut, class sizes are being increased, and teachers are losing their jobs? When business leaders have been complaining about the lack of adequate preparation of high school graduates for the workforce, that is, their inability to calculate, to think critically, or to write coherently, and I'm a witness to the lack of writing coherently, what will be the impact of these current devastating cuts? How can public schools do a better job with less? How do students become more competitive when faced with the reality of larger classes and fewer services? Let me move from the abstract and share with you the reality facing one of the school systems in the 2nd Senatorial District. This school system received $17 million less from the state in 2009 and cut 118 full-time jobs, and also cut millions more in programs and equipment. With the $2 billion budget cuts in the introduced budget, this school system is facing $20 million in cuts that will lead to an increase in class size by 2 students in grades 4 to 5 and 3 students in grades 6 to 12. 1 elementary school will close. Payments will discontinue for AP and IB exams. Tutorial programs will be eliminated. 30 central office positions and 50 other non-classroom positions will be eliminated. Summer school operations will be reduced. Other school systems are facing similar cuts, which we read about daily. Increases in class sizes, fees on AP and IB tests, fees for sports programs, increased fees in parking, and so forth. The cap on funding for education support positions, which began in Chapter 78, translate into a reduction of almost 13,000 positions alone. This will lead us to approximately 28,000 jobs cut in the area of pre-K, of K through 12 education. This is with $2 billion in reductions. The school system that I've been talking about has already cut into the bone and will be forced to go even deeper with an additional $2.3 billion in budget cuts. Unfortunately, what those cuts are is a mystery. It is not possible to plan if it is not clear to local school divisions what to plan for or how to plan. The cloud of mystery needs to be removed with the presentation of budget amendments from the governor so that this school system and others can determine how to do even more with even less. But let's be clear. The impact on workforce development, economic development, the dropout rate, and classroom instruction will be devastating. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator from Northern Fairfax, Senator Howe.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise on a point of